Nothing worked. Okay, hold on. This is still a learning process, but I really thought that we had it figured out. We do. We totally have it figured out. Okay. I need some tea.
Has it started?
I think so. Yeah, I think it started. Somebody say something. Yes, I'm live. Okay. I need some tea. All right. Because that was painful to get that started. Okay, if you're there, two people, just let me know that you're there and I'm here and we're all here together. I'm going to flip this just slightly that way. That's so weird because last week I had to flip it. And this week it's saying like, you're good. I don't know. I don't know what the heck that was about. Let's see. If I turn it this way, that's good, right? Rotate the, I don't want it. Okay. All right, you guys, I'm sorry. I promise I'll figure this out. I promise. Okay, someone says top. That's good. I don't know what's up with the orientation. I will figure that out next week. But we're here. Okay. Hi. Welcome to Kimberly with Knit for Brains. I'm really glad that you're here. I'm really glad. I was sitting downstairs. I'm like, this is good. I had my yogurt. I had my coffee, a little bit of blueberries, a little bit of almonds. I'm all good. I had everything set up. And then kablooey, the universe said, okay, so comment, let me know what it is that you're doing, what you're working on. I will show you what I've been working on top of, I've been working with some yarn barf. This stuff is not pretty. This is no fun. This is the yarn that I usually love. This yarn is from, let's see, is this really on? Because it doesn't look like it is. Okay. All right. I think it is. Yeah. I mean, it seems like it is. Seems like I'm live. I'm live. Okay. This is the yarn from Noro that I am making this gorgeous Ruana with. This was the first corner that I have finished. And I love the colors. This is what it looks like when it's in a ball, a big old fat ball. It's beautiful. But it is made out of silk and cotton and it's raw. You know what I mean? It's not finished. So it just snags on itself. It finds things to attach itself to, and it just snags everywhere. And it's horrible. Oh, yay. Hello. Somebody, Gary Moore, it looks like. Okay. Hello. Thank you, guys. Okay. Now I feel better. At least I know I'm not here by myself and swimming around in YouTube fauna. Okay. So I love this yarn. It's absolutely beautiful, but it's this raw, which makes it look super cool and super natural. But it gives you yarn barf, something horrible. It's like a terminal yarn barf. So I do some fun stuff and then I have to go and, dig this out. But this was the first corner or the first triangle that I finished. And, it's a granny stitch across. So it's working up super fast. And I started on the second square here. And then I had the terminal ailment of yarn barf. And so thank you. Yeah, it is really pretty. And so I had to stop and do some yarn barf stuff. Let me show you what the pattern looks like. I showed this last week and on the live, and it was so funny because I bought this magazine for this particular pattern right here. Did I do that? Did I do this? This I made, if you're asking. Yes, this I did make. And I like it. It's got the little angel wings, and then I'll show you the back. It's like two-tiered. It kind of goes like this. So it's long in the back and a little bit shorter in the front. And I like it. I like it a lot. It was some Italian yarn. Oh, okay. Yes, thank you. This was some Italian yarn, and it's that nubby, natural, cool thing that I love. But this also yarn barfs it. Yes, I did make this, and I am making this. I got it for this particular pattern. I bought this magazine, Noro, for this pattern because I just fell in love with it. And then I realized that I actually had the yarn because I was going to buy it. And Noro yarn, it's not cheap. It's not cheap yarn. I get it on sale. Don't tell the Brit, but I buy yarn. He kind of knows, like, whatever. Anyways, and I loved the pattern. And then I realized, oh my gosh, I actually have the yarn that it calls for. Not only do I have it, but I have just enough. I have 4 balls, and they're big boo-boo balls. These things are like massive. So it doesn't make you feel so bad to buy this yarn. It's expensive, but you get a whole bunch of yardage in these. So that's what I'm making with this guy. And maybe I figured we'll be on for like an hour. And so maybe I will actually start crocheting a little bit with this once I got through the yarn bar. So I got 4 balls of it. 1 ball I just finished. I got a ball here, and then I got these other 2. So yay, but I'm super excited. And I think I mentioned last week, and it also sheds, we're going to Japan in July. And I was like, oh, so my goal, as I said, is to use all my Noro yarn and make stuff and then wear it when we're in Japan. And we're going all over. We're doing like 25 days. I'm going to just flip something because there we go. That's a little bit better. I feel like I'm kind of looking up at it. Okay, that's better. So I'm hoping to get that done. I'll show you some of the other projects, but comment below and tell me what you guys are doing. Good morning, Renee. Unraveled Knitting. I love that name. I love that. It's like you kind of know what you're doing. Then I'm now working also on this Pure Soho raglan sweater, also the bane of my existence. Now, if you're knitting and you're knitting in the round, you know that you're not supposed to twist your stitches. And, you know, you do a really good job. Oh, cool. Okay, Renee Unraveled Knitting said you lived in Japan for 3 years. Oh my gosh, you are my hero. You're my inspiration. We went to Japan year before last for 2 days. We were on a cruise. It was 2 days. And I was so in love. I was like crying. I thought, I can't leave. So we're going back, and we are going to Kyoto. We're going to Tokyo, Osaka, so many places. I'm super, super excited about all the stops that we're making. Once we get close, we're actually in the trip planning, trying to figure out where we're going to go and what we're going to do. We're going to be there. So I will show you more. But anyways, getting back to this guy. So this might look a little smaller to you. Oh, there's a great question. Hopobomo. I think I got that right. What was the most challenging thing you've ever knit? Okay, hold on to that because let me think about that. But that's a great, great, great question because I knit and I crochet. So I would say probably knitting. I'm more of a newbie. I'm more intermediate, beginner intermediate. I'm like an advanced beginner with knitting. And I would say I am intermediate, high intermediate to expert in crochet. But there's a lot of stitches I don't know. And there's a lot of people I think that do it a lot better than me. So, I mean, you know, it's kind of there's a lot of stuff I haven't done with knitting and even with crochet. You knit a puppet. It was very hard. I would say that would be hard. Probably some of the hardest things that I've knitted just because they're tedious have been some of my amigurumi. Let me see. Let me show you the one. He's one of my favorites, but he was tedious. Let me show you. This guy. Beaker. Remember Beaker from the Muppets? He's one of my favorites. He was just tedious. There was just a lot of stuff going on with him, and I wanted to make sure I got the eyeballs right. And then I found these little beakers. Did you know you can buy miniatures? And apparently miniatures is like a whole other world. Small world, granted. And so I was able to find these little miniature beakers. And then I have a little test tube beaker for Dr. Honey Melon, I think is his name. Anyways, I love him, but he was probably one of my most tedious guys. Crochet, hardest thing I crocheted. I mean, this was easy. Once I got hanging with it, it was I forgot the name of this. It's kind of like a fan stitch. Basically, it was like 3 double crochets and then or 2, I think it is. It looks like 2, chain 1, 2. So it's actually kind of what I'm doing on this one. It's just a granny stitch. I call it not a granny square. This one is doing 3, chain 1, 3, chain 1 all the way across. So this was sort of like that, but then you get into this V stitch in the middle and it made this really cool fan stitch. So I loved that. Knitting, there's some things I've done. I have done some color work, and that is difficult because I've learned that you really have to keep the stitches loose, because when you're working with the 2 strands, your tension can go like really fast, and suddenly your size excuse me, changes from like an adult normal to a preemie baby. And that's what happened with the hat that I made. So that was very difficult. My stitch marker just came off from my stitch holder. But I'm kind of delving more into adventurous things. This guy here, let me get back to this. So I'm knitting it in the round, and it's a raglan. Super, super simple. It called for doing short rows. I don't know if you know what short rows are. And I was not finding joy with it. So I just decided not to do the short rows. And I don't think that's a mistake. It's supposed to give you more shaping. But what happened was last week I got a little bit farther into it than this is right here. I'm about 3.5 inches, I think, in, something like that. And all of a sudden I realized it was twisted. All this time I've been doing, because it's hard, it's easy to see how it can kind of twist around. And sure enough, it twisted, and I was like, oh no. And I tried. It takes a lot of practice. Using German, Renee, you use German short rows. Okay, I know there's a lot of different ones. This one just called for a short row. I don't know what nationality short row it was. And I do plan on doing short rows. I do want to learn them. It was just a little bit much. I didn't like how it was coming out on the sweater. So I had to rip those out. Then I'm going to straight raglan. And I did the straight raglan, and I got to about 6 inches or so, twice as much, and realized it was twisted. And at that point, it was like really twisted. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, do I just keep going with this? Because then it's kind of this weird twist thing in the front. So I did. I twisted it, got it straight, kept on going. And then I was like, what are you doing? Don't do that. Even the Brit was like, whoa. So I had to take the whole thing out, and I had to start all over again. And because these cords are so long, it just naturally twists itself. I literally had to pin it together so that I wouldn't twist it. Because I don't know about you, but it's really hard to see when you're twisting work. It just kind of comes naturally. So I had to like check it. And I'm so panicked and so paranoid about it that I pretty much every row I'm like, is this twisted? Like, even I'm like, is this twisted? Is this twisted? But it's not. This is actually really good. It's just wonky. Anyways, when this is done, it's going to be a raglan sweater. I have to do 13 3/4 inches of this, and then it's done. And the sleeves are done. So once this part is done, then it's going to be pretty much done. And we're going to Switzerland next month, a little surprise trip to accompany a friend of ours on her 50th birthday, who has had a really rough year. She lost her mom, and then she lost her husband, and she wanted to do something special for her 50th. And so the Brit said we should go with her somewhere. I'm like, okay, where are we going? So as it turns out, we're going to Switzerland, and that's pretty exciting. But we haven't really had the time to plan. It's like, boom, let's do it. And we're leaving in like 3 weeks. So I'm hoping to bring that sweater on that trip, this sweater on that trip. This is the yarn I'm using. It's Queensland Sunshine Coast. It's really nice. Again, I don't know what it is with me and this sticky, icky yarn. It's really pretty, but it's sticky icky. This is superwash merino and bamboo blend, but it's got a halo, and it does, it did give me some yarn barf when I first started with it. Not as much anymore, but icky sticky yarn. So that one I'm working on. Comment, let me know what you guys are working on. I can see comments today, which is great. Because I couldn't last week. So, let me know what you're working on and what you're doing and all those kinds of things. The other thing, and also, how many projects do you have going on at one time? Because sometimes I'm like, is this too much? Is this like, do I have a little bit of ADYD, attention deficit yarn disorder or something? I don't know. Like, I'm going to make this word up myself. Because I typically have at least 2, if not 3 things going on. And this is my third, this one, because I love this yarn. And again, it's sort of a sticky icky, but not as much. It's by Ravello. I got this a while back. I showed it on my channel on one of my videos. And it's by Fiber Natural. And it is, what is the composition? 75% cotton and 75% cotton and 9% recycled cashmere and 16% merino wool. I hope you get to visit some yarn shops. I just finished a raglan toddler sweater and I love the Sophie scarf. Okay, so you have about 5 whips, Renee. I did the Sophie scarf. Absolutely loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. I was actually thinking about doing a couple more Sophie scarves. I did a video last week on marling yarn, and I had this really pretty cotton and silk mulberry silk yarn, and I thought this would be really pretty. So I might end up doing a Sophie because I can whip those up no problem whatsoever. Let me tell you how much I would love doing a toddler size raglan sweater at this point. Just a toddler size, not my size. It's been the bane of my existence. Anyways, so I am making this sweater that was a free pattern from Universal Yarn. And it's more of like a sweater top. It looks like this guy. And it's just this. Super, super, super basic and simple. But it calls for this particular yarn, this Ravello by Fiber Natural. And I said it's cashmere, it's cotton, wool, merino wool, and then cashmere. Very, very, very soft. And so I'm doing it in this mustardy yellow color. So I'm working on this one as well. This was cool. It had what they call a twisted rib, which I had never done before. But let me see if I can find how am I going to do this? It goes like that. It's got this cool twisted rib. And I was like, hey, now that's kind of different. And then the rest of it is just going to be a regular stocking net stitch. So this is 3 so far. And then the other one, let me see if I have the pattern somewhere. Maybe I don't have the pattern with me. I got these mini stroll packs from We Crochet, and they were on sale. And I got this one a while back. It's got kind of these really cool fall wintry colors. And there's what is that fun pattern? Well, I had it laying out somewhere. Boo-boo. Well, I'll have to show you guys. It's by Zazzernit, something like that. And it uses sock yarn, or basically like fingering weight stroll packs, like minis like this. And you need 5 colors. These all have 5 colors. And it's kind of a knit on a bias, so it's sort of a triangle. I was going to say it's similar to the Sophie scarf, but actually it's not, because the Sophie is small, and then it goes big, and then it goes small. And this one is more of a triangle. But you use one of the contrast colors, sort of like it kind of cuts the colors as you go through them. So my contrast colors is probably going to be like this guy. And then it basically will be here. It'll cut through each one of these to, section it off. And I'm thinking it's going to be really exciting and kind of cool and fun. And so this is probably going to be my 1, 2, 3, fourth whip. And if I get going with 2 of them, that will be 5 whips. That's a lot. That's kind of a lot that is going on, but that is okay. That is all right. So that's kind of, and it's funny because, here in Southern California, we don't have any weather, by the way. Our weather went away. We're back to our normal 80-degree winter summers, which means we have kind of summer weather in the winter, which is weird because honestly, oftentimes we have a lot of rain at this time of year, which is appropriate. And right now it's supposed to be 80 degrees. We had a lot of rain last week. How many pillows? Oh. Oh, Rebel for crocheting. You're from Canada. Mwah, love you. Hello. I love Canada. Love Canada. We're actually going there in the fall. We are going to Montreal and Quebec, and then we are taking my mother on a cruise out of Quebec. We're doing the leaves, changing all the leaves. So we're going up into gosh, I forget where we're going. Halifax. I think we're going to Halifax. We're ending in New York City. And then we're going to spend a couple days in New York City. And then, and as it just so happens, we're going to go to it. The weekend that we get back, or the next weekend after we get back, which is we're going to be in New York City, is the Rhinebeck Festival. So we rented a house up in Rhinebeck, and we're going to go to the Rhinebeck Festival again. Yay! So we went last year, and it was a blast. It was so much fun. And some of my YouTube friends are going to be up there with us, including Chris from Acton Creative. She popped in last week to say hi. Love her. And a couple other people. So if you're going to be going to Rhinebeck, I mean, I know it's a ways off, but make plans, because if you're going to go, hotels are filling up and all that stuff is filling up. But we're going to be there next year. So that's exciting. And we're going to be popping through Canada. And I love that. And then she says, thank goodness I'm able to ride my bike 18 miles on Sunday. Oh, brilliant. 18 miles. Wow. The Brit and I, we have started walking. Well, we've been walking now. I can't say start because we've been doing it now for the better part of a year. We have a lake. We have a couple they're all man-made lakes. I mean, let's get serious, right? We have the ocean. We don't have natural lakes and stuff. But there's one close to our house. And if you walk the circuit all the way around, it's about 5 miles. And it's pretty flat, I was doing it with a girlfriend of mine, and then she was like, no, I don't want to do that anymore. And her schedule, life gets busy and whatever. So she stopped. And I think I think he felt sorry for me in the beginning. He goes, all right, fine, I'll walk with you. And that was over a year ago. And so every Monday we walk 5 miles around the lake. And then at least another day of the week, we walk 3 miles. But we're trying to incorporate one more day and doing another 3 miles. So we're trying to do like 11 miles a week. Not bad. It's not bad. We're not riding our bike. But I love that. Hey, Kimberly, I just want to let you know I love you and your content is awesome. Aww. Well, aren't you just the sweetest thing? Thank you very much. That is so good. I love that you know what, guys, I have to say, I don't know if any of you all do YouTube channels or if you've ever done anything like that. And I didn't even think that why would I do YouTube? It was actually the Brit. The Brit is my husband, in case you don't know. It was his idea. He wanted to do a travel channel. And I think I mentioned this last week. And then I was like, well, you have to put content out there. You have to have it consistent, right? And, we're not traveling consistently. I mean, hello. And he was still working at the time. So I said, well, I mean, I'm doing this. And that's how it started. And doing a live is different than doing the recorded, even though I love the recorded. But doing the live, you're sitting there like, okay, is anyone going to tune in today? There, you got this fear of, is there going to be crickets? Am I going to just be sitting there, party of one? And last week we had I think 30, more than 30 people. And this week we've got 8. So people are saying hi. Oh, look at Joy Foley. I love the name. Hello, friend. I love all of you guys. So the fact that you're showing up and we're just hanging together, I love this. But it's I was like, what am I going to talk about? I have to have an agenda. But when you do a live, you don't necessarily have to have an agenda. Well, I know Juan the Yarn Addict, he does so much. He does giveaways and oh, I forgot. I'm so glad I just said that word, giveaway. He does giveaways and contests and all kinds of stuff. And I think he does mostly lives now. I'm gonna do probably one live a week, and then I'll do like one recorded, maybe two recorded, in your part watch a replay, but I have a little time today. Oh, excellent. Yeah, well, welcome, because I know some people work during the day, and I thought, this may not be a good time, but for a lot of people, it seems to be a good time. And yeah, you can always watch it on the replay. I love that you are a West Coast knitter. It is hard to find West Coast knitters. Thank you so much for pointing that out, because, in places like the UK where my husband is from, it's raining a lot, it's cold, so a lot of people knit, crochet, they stay inside. And I know there's a lot of people right now on the East Coast that are getting hit again with this wizard weather blizzard cyclone thing. And like, good heavens. So the upside for me would be I'd just be sitting inside knitting, crocheting. I mean, I got so much yarn. You guys are just seeing what I'm working on. You don't know what I have. I would be happy as a pig in slop, let me tell you. But on the West Coast, you don't find a lot of people out here because the weather doesn't really lend itself to knitted, crocheted garments unless you're going to do something really light and airy, like something like this. Even still, it can be warm and toasty. So we do a lot of like tanks or scarves or cowls or things like that that maybe lend itself more to the warmer weather. So it is hard to find people like us here in town. But let me show you the really cool thing. I decided this year, hang on, I have to get a sip of my friendship tea in my cup. Do you like my tea, my cup? Crochet Hug. I think it's pronounced Hug. Hug. It's Danish, I believe. It says crochet is, I think, Hug, something like that. It's a word from Denmark, Danish word that means comfort. And it's this whole like lifestyle and this whole movement, kind of what we were just talking about when it comes to like being in warm places and doing cozy things. That's what this Hygge or Hug is all about. It's finding comfort in everyday things. So I got this one here as well. I got these from Hobby or Hobby, depends on how you say it. But it's all about like warmth and cup of teas and blankets and comfort and things like that. Okay, so last year I started, each year I kind of look at the channel and go, all right, what are we doing? Am I serving my subscribers? Like, am I getting, are you getting what you want? Like, do you want to keep tuning in? That kind of a thing. And I thought, I'm doing all these really great product reviews and things, but for heaven's sakes, you guys should get to share in this. So I had then decided that I want to start doing more giveaways. And so last week I showed you one of my newfound toys that I absolutely love, and it is it's by Lemonwood, and it's a yarn ball holder. And I reached out to them and was like, hey, I love your stuff, and can I feature it on my channel? And they said, yes, please. So they sent me one for me and one for you to do a giveaway. So it looks like this, and I chose this one for me. It's called Pinot and Pie. And they got these adorable little scenes in the middle, and they're made out of wood. It says Lemonwood here on the back. And what you do, and then it comes with a strap and a hook like this. And the whole kit comes with, this is your centerpiece, this guy. And this piece is they have so many different styles. This piece is decorated based on, it kind of ties into your centerpiece here, right? And so what you do is you take this guy and you just stick it up through the middle like so. I mean, that's it. That's as easy as it gets, friends. And then you attach this guy, this is leather. This is really, really great. And it's sort of like a, what do they call those things? A carabiner. So basically just kind of clips on, this opens up and it clips on like this. And this is the thing. Now, before you clip it on, you put your yarn on. Although I guess you could put your yarn, let me see. Like you could do, well, let's try this one. You could do it like this way, I suppose. I just put it on before I put the strap on, but you could do it this way if you really wanted to. It's more difficult for sure. Let me show you how this works. These things, somebody said they're great for travel. Yes, that's exactly. Okay, so it goes on like that. Boom. So let's say that you're walking and knitting or crocheting, whatever, and your ball doesn't go flying across the floor, it doesn't get dusty or whatever. But yes, when you're traveling, like if you're on a bus or you're on a train, or maybe you travel for work, like a subway or something like that, you just hang this on the back of a seat rest or something. Or if you're traveling in a car, like on road trips, I hang this on the emergency, like the handle, or like pretty much anywhere, and it just hangs there. It's so awesome. I love these things. And this is the mini ball winder. But this actually holds, I mean, this is just a regular ball. So I think they have some jumbo and they have some larger sizes. And they have different like ball winders and things like that. This might be a little bit tricky on this. This guy here would be a little bit tricky on here. Anyways, but they gave me one to give away. And I was like, yes, please. So I got one to do as a giveaway. And it comes in this really great little case like this, package case like this. So this is the one that I've got to do a giveaway for. And it's it's a man on the moon, or a lady sitting on the moon. Let me see if I can open it and show you. So I'm gonna do a giveaway drawing, and I'm also gonna feature this on my channel. So it looks like this. Isn't she cute? Isn't she adorable? And then the little handle here has the stars and the things, all the things, right? And then it's got this really cute little pink leather, and it's a nice thick leather. It's not, pleather or anything like that. And then it comes in this really cool carrying case like that, lemon wood. And then it even has instructions here as well. So comment below if like, I don't know, where you would use it. Like, do you travel for work? Do you travel for vacation? Like, just comment with a use that you could see with this. And I'm also going to feature this on one of my other videos. So you can check that out as well. But I want to do more giveaways. I want to, just share all this really cool, fun stuff. Sometimes people reach out and they go, hey, would you do a giveaway? And more often than not, I guarantee you, I promise you, I say, no, thank you. I mean, some of the stuff that they send me, I'm like, how in the world is that even going to be a thing? How does it make any sense to, anything that I'm doing on my channel? Sometimes it does. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it's a little bit of a stretch, but I'm like, this is so cool. This, for instance, did you guys see, I did a short on this. It's called the Fanny Fit, and it's a smartwatch designed for women. And I actually did a short, and I'm going to choose the winner today or tomorrow. So if you didn't get a chance to check out the short, check on my channel, look at the short, and then I'll ask for a comment, like your favorite self-care thing that you do for yourself. And then that's all you had to do. And I'm going to choose a winner. I haven't yet, so check that out. And they gave me a smartwatch to give away. It was so cool. Let me tell you, I've been wearing this thing for the last week or so, maybe 2 weeks. And I get a lot of compliments. It's really, really fun. I like how the smartwatch that I had, it's a Samsung, and I use it when we work out, but it just has the buttons you push on the side. This one has the bevel that you can turn on the side. Like, you kind of go like, I don't know if you can see it, but you turn the bevel like a regular wristwatch handle, and then it changes all the faces. And then there's also a little button here at the bottom, so you can kind of do either or, but it has like 110 different exercise settings. So if you're like walking or pickleball or bar or Pilates or yoga, whatever it is, it will monitor your sleep cycles, your moods, your heart rate, your cycle. I was like, well, not everybody needs that no more, but if you do, hey, good for you. But anyways, it's really cool. So if you're interested in that, go find the short. It's on my page under the shorts. Watch it and then just comment. So there you go. All right. What else is people doing? Okay. So is anybody snowed in? Is anybody just hanging out because, like, maybe in New York where they got the blizzards, or I heard Washington, D.C. had a whole mess of snow. Um, I have a friend that was supposed to be getting on, I think they're supposed to be getting on a cruise ship, I think, and they're in New York, and I'm like, oh, is that even gonna happen? I don't know, because there's a lot of snow, there's a lot of stuff happening out there. So I feel for you, I really do, because I've seen snow come down less than that in my entire life, less than that. Um, but I'm a Southern California girl. So there you go. Alrighty. We have a lot of new people on today, and I am super excited that I haven't seen you in my comment on my videos. So welcome. I'm very excited to let people know, because I'm going to be here every Tuesday at 10 a.m. for an hour-ish, something like that. And I promise you, I'll figure out the orientation of the camera, and I don't know. I thought I was totally ready to go, and I just, the universe of electronics said, yeah, not so much today, friend. Oh, well, that's all right. Hi, Kim. Oh, you're from Washington. Christina. You are working on a mosaic blanket and a moss stitch scrap blanket. Ooh, fun. Nice. Well, welcome. I actually did a moss stitch scarf scraps, and then I did a moss stitch temperature blanket that was really fun. It was Tony Lipsy. Every year, you should know Tony Lipsy. If you don't, go find her. TL Yarn Crafts, or TLYC, but TL Yarn Crafts. And every year she does a temperature blanket, a different temperature blanket. And one year she did it, and it was maybe 5 years ago, maybe. And it was a moss stitch temperature blanket. And I loved it. And it used to be here in this room. I think it was back over here. And then my son snaffled it and took it home. And I was like, oh, I'm okay with that, because my son is 29. And if a 29 or 28-year-old decides they actually like something that you made, I'm like, take it, my friend, my son, take it. All right, what am I knitting? Patricia asked what I am knitting. I am knitting a raglan sweater by Pro Soho, and the yarn is called Sunshine. It's Queensland's Coast, or Queensland's yarn. It's Sunshine Coast, and this color is called Maria Creek. So this yarn is from Australia. I believe it's from Australia, New Zealand, but I think it's there. Sunshine Coast is Australia, so I'm thinking it's that. And Queensland is also Australia, so we're going with Australia. Anyways, I loved this yarn, and I'm making this raglan sweater, and it's going to be a striped sweater. So I'm just basically knitting in the round. And the bane of my existence with this thing was it kept twisting. And so I've had to frog it twice because it was twisted. And then once it had the short rows, and I think it was also twisted as well. And I was just like, I don't like it. So I stopped it. I have the sleeves over there. Let me see if I can reach them. You guys can't see it, but I'm surrounded by yarn and stuff so that I can keep within arm's reach. But hold on, let me see if I can reach it. 2 seconds, please. All right, I hope I didn't flash you guys or anything. I don't think I did. Okay. Now I forgot what I was looking for. Oh God, youth in the brain. All right, here it is. These are the sleeves so that's what it's going to look like all done. Pretty. What? Austria? Oh my gosh. Hi, welcome. That's the coolest. I mean, I've had people from Canada, Austria. Yes, it is Austria. I had to make sure it wasn't Australia. Austria. Oh my gosh, welcome. I want you here all the time, every week. So this is what the sleeves look like. And I did a pretty good job matching them up. My only ha giggle concern with this. And it's just going to be, this is what Kimberly does. She just has little design elements, if you will. Some people would call them flaws. I call them design elements. With this particular sweater is that because the sleeves are shorter in the round, the color blocks is going to be, wider, right? It makes sense. But on this guy, because it's longer around, the color blocks are going to be thinner. So it's going to be thinner stripes here than it is going to be here. I hope that's not going to look weird, but it is what it is. I'm not stopping it now because after I had to frog this baby twice, let me tell you, starting at the third time, I was like, but this saved me because I was like, no, I really like the sleeves. The sleeves came out really nice. So because I did the sleeves, I was like, nope, you got to do it. You got to get in there. So I did. So here it is. This is what I'm doing. And then I wish I could find that other pattern. I had it. I did have it out for you, and now I can't find it, which is a bummer, but that's okay. I haven't started it yet. The pattern I want to do for these guys. And it's there's a Z in the name. Zaza Knits, ZZ Knits. I'll figure it out, and I will show it to you next week. Because I will hopefully have started those. And it's just a very simple triangle scarf. Should be very simple. And I always like to have something easy and simple like that from like for planes and things like that. Yeah, something that's easy and concise. Now, somebody said, what needles are you using? Are those the Likey copper ones? No, these are not the Likey copper ones. These are Knitter's Pride. And these are their, I'm looking because it was a little kit. It's like a meditation kit. And so it's like these needles here say Harmony. I think it was called the Harmony kit. I think that's what it was. It's like an aqua blue little kit. So these say Breathe on them. They're beautiful. These are stainless steel. And I love these. I do have a pair of Likey hooks, or needles rather, but I have the wooden ones. I have the pink wooden, and they're beautiful. I have them downstairs. Love them. I like the interchangeable. The only thing that I'm not digging about interchangeables, and it is the nature of the beast, is that oftentimes they twist and then they start to come undone. Has it ever happened to you? And then you got stuff on the needle, and all of a sudden you realize that the needle has come apart from the cable, like right here, and you're like, oh no. And you have to like be very diligent and tell nobody in the house, nobody move until you get it all back in place. So, but these are I love the feeling when you're knitting. It's just so easy and so simple. Yes, I was just gonna say, Renee, I was just about to say my favorite of recent they're not the interchangeable, are the Chigu. Is that Chigu? I think that's how you say it. I love them. They have this long red cable. Oh, hold on. I've got some over here. Stay close. Stay close. Oof. Okay. These are Chigus. Now, this is a much fatter needle. As a matter of fact, I used this when I made a sweater. It was a loopy mango sweater, and it was all the bright colors. I think I wore it last week on the live. I love these things so much. This is like industrial strength. These cords are the bomb diggity, let me tell you. And these are not the interchangeable, so I don't have to worry about them coming apart. These things are like nuclear. They're awesome. So I have actually I do. The Ravel, this project I'm doing here, this guy, these are my Chigogo. I don't know if I'm saying it right. It makes me happy to say it. So if I'm saying it wrong, I'm still going to say Chigogo. Anyways, that's these guys here. And I don't know, man, they're so much fun to knit with. They really are. I really love, excuse me, I really love knitting in the round. I seriously do. And I've done a lot more knitting recently, like in the last year or two, because for a long time I was really doing more crochet, and there was probably like a year that I didn't do any knitting. But I love what I do when I finish knitting, and I'm like, oh, this is really pretty. So I'm getting more into it. I had to untangle myself there, and I love these. They're just so much fun to knit with. So somebody says, Mama Jonah Jaime, I think is me, says, I have had Chigu needles for about 6 years. They are great, very easy to use. Yes, she's in Austria. I love that. Um, they're just the best needles. And I don't have a full set of the Chigo needles. I just like, if I need them for a project, I order them, and I usually get them on Amazon. I'm tempted to buy the whole set, but they're just the bomb diggity. So I've got these guys, and I just like to get them when they're not the interchangeables. Interchangeables are fun. I love my Likes. I love my Knitter's Pride. Um, but they make me nervous when, like they start to come undone. They make me nervous. So, but I love, and chime in on this, I love when you're knitting. Like I'll just do a little bit on this guy because I just move from project to project. Um, it's the click. There's like this something that's so meditative when you're just sitting there and you're just like click, 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 click. It's the feel of the yarn with the needle, and it's I don't know. It's just very meditative. She says, Linda, hey, Linda. I almost forgot it was Tuesday. Oh, my fiance had to dig me out with all of his. Oh, you're in the snow again. Oh, Linda, that's right, because you live somewhere on the East Coast. That's all right, friend. I'm glad you're here. And the fiance, he's a keeper, right? Um, yeah, I'm so sorry that you are stuck in the stuff again. The British people, they would say it's in the poo. You're in the poo. That's an expression. It's, it's sort of a fun way to say it. Um, Dang, girl, go somewhere warmer. I don't know what you guys have going on back there. Some blizzard, snow again, but what do they call it? A cyclone storm? Oh, boof. No, thank you. Yeah, sorry. I know. I know. I have the Brits, they're always just like so polite. I mean, they can cut you to the core. It's called death of a thousand cuts. You've heard this expression, right? Like you don't really know that you're being insulted and making fun of you until you go, huh, is it? Is it? But you're not really sure. Yeah, that's the Brits for you. They just have that whole thing absolutely mastered. Hello, that's Lisa. I think it's Elisa. Hi, I'm glad you're here. Welcome. But one of the expressions that they use is it's a big palava, which my friends are like, what's a palava? And I'm like, it's a thing. It's a big brouhaha. It's like a fiasco. And you can have other words that maybe aren't so nice to describe it, but I like palava. But sometimes if you're in the stuff, you can say, I'm in the poo, or you're in the poo, right? And it just, I don't know, it just sounds a little bit sweeter. That's about as graphic my language as it gets, I guess. A cyclone bomb, that is it. Should call massive snow dump. Ooh. So I heard that New York got smashed. And then I heard Washington, D.C. got smashed. No, you're not late. You're here. Hello. I have to reshovel my driveway since the plows blocked you back in. Rewinding to the start and listening along. So you plowed your driveway, and then you shoveled your driveway, because I live in the West Coast, so I don't know all the terminology. You shoveled your driveway, and then the plows freaking threw the snow back at you. Oh, I'd have been mad. I would have been hot. Hot. Oh, Julia, you're in New York City. You are in it, friend. You are in it, aren't you? Like full on. It took me 2 hours last night to make a path out. Juliana, no, stop. Stop. I hope you get to work from home today. I well, actually, I think all the isn't the transit like isn't it all of it just like nothing's moving? I mean, I heard they closed like Broadway plays. They didn't even get to finish those. Nothing's moving, friends. Life is too short. Sit home, do what I do. Tell them Kimberly with Knit for Brains said, I have to do this. Make yourself a cup of tea, right? Put it in one of your favorite mugs. Sit down, knit, crochet, weave, do whatever. Hang with me for about an hour and then watch the snow. And it's very peaceful. It's a very peaceful weather when you're sitting inside a nice warm house watching it come down, not fighting it. And I don't think anybody should be fighting it now. Linda says, I need a gallon of wine. I hear you, friend. I hear you about that one. We belong to a couple wine clubs, and it's very exciting. I have to say, I feel bad for the delivery guy because, he's got to schlep. We only belong to 2 wine clubs. It's not like a lot, but they're seasonal, right? So about every 6 months and stuff like that. And the poor guys, and we've had some girls too. I'm not trying to make a gender statement there, but they're schlepping, and they're like, oh, man, I hate wine season. It's really funny. And now he's supposed to sign for it, and he like leaves it at the door. We're like, thank you. He goes, yeah, I know, you're fine. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to card you. Oh, thanks. I don't know if I should take that as a compliment or not. Let's see. Juliana says, exactly. I'll be crocheting with my sister Angela once the driveway is fixed. Yeah, I would say boof. I mean, who needs a driveway? You don't need a driveway for crochet, especially if you have yarn in the house. A couple weeks ago, I did a snowed in promotion because I felt so bad. I pulled yarn out of my own stash, and a pom-pom. And I think actually Linda won that. And I was like, here, just go enjoy some snow and do something. So maybe I should do that again. I kind of didn't expect you guys would be slammed again. I'm sorry. I'm probably being very naive in that. I thought, the weather is done. I mean, we have, you're very welcome. We have, I'm not going to tell you what the temperature is. You can see that there's light coming from here. So you can see that it's light outside. But I'm not going to, for those of you that are stuck in it, I want you just to think of me this is snow. This is all snow out here. And the light that you see is the light that is shining off of the snow into my eyes, but it's all white and we're like in 5 foot of snow. Your English is perfect. Michaela. I'm going to say it's Michaela. Yes. Okay. She says, you are a kind soul. Thank you. That's like the best thing somebody could say. I have to say, I'm going to come back to that in a second, but let's see. Rolo of Corbo Choi says, I'm actually in Montreal and coming to Canada in the fall is the best time. Yes, this is what we've heard. Fall season is the best. Also, if you have time, try to go to the old port of Montreal. It's so beautiful there. So we're flying into Montreal, but our cruise ship leaves out of Quebec, the old city of Quebec. So we're going to drive from Montreal into Quebec, and we're staying there for 2 or 3 days. I am a big fan of all the UNESCO heritage sites, and it's on my bucket list to hit as many of them as I can. So anytime we travel anywhere, I try to see if there's a UNESCO heritage site close, and the Quebec, old city of Quebec is one of them. And the cruise that we're doing, we're actually on a Cunard ship, is going, starts in Quebec, and then it's going all the way back down, and it ends in New York City. So I get to see all of you all. And then from there, we're going to spend a couple days in New York City, and then we're renting a car, and we're driving up to Rhinebeck, and then we're going to do the Wool Festival in Rhinebeck. Yes, Linda, we're not cruising to Japan. We are flying over to Japan. We're going to cruise around Japan. And that's the month of July. So it's 2 cruises back to back. And this is actually, the first one is for a friend of ours, mine, but the Brits as well. I actually met him on a cruise, and it's his 50th birthday. And he reached out and said he wants to do a 50th birthday in Japan and on a cruise. So we're starting out in Tokyo. We're going to have a dinner for him in Tokyo. And then we're all, and I don't know, there might be like 6 couples or something. He and his partner are coming in from Charleston, South Carolina, but he's actually from Australia, from Melbourne. And we're going to do it. And I am super excited about that. So when I'm not doing this, I'm um, knitting this. I'm crocheting my Ruana and trying to get that finished up. When are you going to Rhinebeck? We are going to Rhinebeck for the Rhinebeck Festival. So that is October. We're there the 15th through the 19th. So the festival is like the 17th and the 18th, I believe it is. Saturday and Sunday. It's that weekend of October. Linda, if you're going to be around or anybody in that area, come to Rhinebeck. I'm super excited. We've rented a house, and my friend, I'm going to start something else. I don't normally move this quickly from thing to thing, but today I am. We rented a house, and my friend Chris Acton from Acton Creative, I think she is also planning on being there, and we might end up sharing a house, which would be so cool. So I might be doing a live from there. But yeah, man, I'm going to Rhinebeck again. And my mom is coming along. Mumsy, last year, if you guys were following my channel, actually, it was in 2024 we did that. We did the Project Welcome Home, where we made you all, so generous, kind souls that you are, sent me we got over 1,500 granny squares, 1,500 granny squares. And my mother and I spent the better part of the year sewing them into blankets, into like wheelchair blankets, walker blankets, so a little bit smaller, for a assisted living facility where I teach yoga down the street. And that was a lot. And we made, what did I say? Over 50 blankets, I think. We made over 50 blankets. And then we wrapped them all up in Christmas wrap and delivered them and all that kind of thing. So you guys got to know my mom a little bit through that. And it was a wonderful, wonderful experience. But it's just like for the whole year, I didn't get to do anything else. I didn't get to do any knitting, any crocheting. I couldn't do anything for the channel because I was just sewing together the squares. But they were amazing. So now I'm working with Warm Up America, which is a charity, and you can send them squares, you can send them hats and blankets, and they have all these different charities that they support all across the country. So that's really kind of nice. So I'm working with them, and then I'm also still doing knitted knockers, where I make the prothesis, knitted or crocheted breasts that you fill and you stuff for people that are going through mastectomies, and it helps them in their healing process. So those are the 2 charities that I'm working with this year. So what else came in? Linda says, unfortunately, I have my father here who will be 98. Oh, goodness. And you can't leave him. Understand, my friend. Wow. Maybe one day I would love to go. 98. Isn't that amazing? Well, Linda, look what you have to look forward to. You have longevity in your family, don't you? Goodness gracious. Good for you. Yeah, Rhinebeck was a super, super fun festival. I have a lot of yarn from Rhinebeck. I haven't finished it. I got yarn, people. This is pretty much what I do all day. I mean, I cut videos, I teach yoga, I hang out with my husband. We do stuff together. We do a lot of stuff together because he's retired, and because he retired, I had to quit work because you can't travel and work, and he wanted to travel. And I was like, okay, twist my arm. So we're going to Switzerland next month for 2 weeks. Again, a friend of ours is having a birthday. So we're doing, and it's her 50th birthday as well. So it's Ash's 50th, and then it's her 50th. Wow. People are like, you guys are such good friends. I'm like, really? Because we're traveling. We're getting to do, I'm excited. I've never been to Switzerland. Actually, I think I went there once for lunch. I know that sounds really weird, but my father was one of these people. He's American. and he would travel. He would see as much as he possibly could. That's a very American thing to do, is to, try to cram it all in. And I would much prefer to do like maybe one or two places for like 2 or 3 weeks and really get into the people, the culture. Like, I love nothing more than going to a country, finding a little cafe, you know, maybe across from a food, like a public market, where they go and they buy their foods and whatever, or go shopping in the market. I just want to like live among the people. I want to see how you live. I would love to just, I sit, I crochet, I knit, I watch people. That's my favorite thing to do. Maybe even a little bit more than museums, because I'm like, museums are great, but that's the history. I want to know how you live your life. How is it different than mine? How are we the same? All that kind of stuff. Switzerland is definitely on my bucket list. And I go back to Italy to see all of my relatives. Ooh. Oh, wait a minute, Linda. Oh, so you haven't gone to Italy. You want to go to Italy. Is your father Italian, the one who's 98? Because that makes so much sense. People that are Italian people, they live a long, long time. I believe it's that blue zone Mediterranean diet thing that they do. And they say that drinking red wine, like not a lot, maybe a glass a day, does a body good. But anyways, getting back to my father, we were there once back in 85. We did 10 countries in 3 weeks. 10 countries in 3 weeks. Now, the Brit and I will do 1 or 2 countries in 5 weeks. See the difference? Yeah? I can leave a country and go, I know this country inside and out. I know the people. I am comfortable there, whatever. 10 countries? I mean, like one day we did Liechtenberg or Liechtenstein, Limburg, Austria. No. What did we do? Switzerland, Liechtenstein, and Luxembourg. Those were the 3. I just had to do it right in my head in one day. You don't even, that's like saying that you've been to England because you went through Heathrow. That doesn't, I don't want to offend anybody. I really don't. I don't think that counts. You don't say, I've been to England and you've only been in the airport. I don't think that counts. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? You can't say that you went to Ghirardelli or to Harrods if you didn't actually go to Harrods, if you went to the one store they have at the mall, in the airport. Don't get me started. Last time I went to Italy was in 2019. Linda said both of my parents were born in Italy. Oh, friend. Okay, my parents used to take me and my siblings to Italy when we were young for the entire summer. Oh, man. Love Italy. Love Italy. Now I've been on for over an hour. You guys, this is too easy. It's too easy just to sit here mindlessly and go on and on. I can't take it more for an hour because you guys have things to do and sit and chat with me all day long, but I love this. I love that we can just hang out. All right, Linda, I got to know, because a good part of me is Italian, a good percentage. What part of Italy are you from? We've been to the Cinque Terre. We've been to Rome twice, Florence twice, Tuscany. Love Florence. We've been to Positano. We've been to Venice. Loved Venice. Loved it. And then we've been to a lot of little towns, Bologna, La Spezia, Padua. Yeah, those places. Okay. Linda. Oh, shut up. Linda, you're from Tuscany? Could it get any better? Oh my gosh. That's the most amazing thing ever. I got someone from Tuscany and Austria and Canada today. Y'all are spoiling me. Seriously, we stayed in Lucca in Tuscany, and we went to Pisa and we went to all the different areas, but we stayed in a farmhouse in Lucca. And I got to tell you the story, guys. It was really funny. And then I probably should start to close out. No way, you speak fluent Italian? I love that. I love that about you. Okay, so let me tell you the funny story. So we stayed in Lucca. We stayed in this little farmhouse. And it was actually a big farmhouse. I think it was like 4 or 5 bedrooms. And the guy who owned it was in the Peace Corps, I believe. So he wasn't there, but his parents kind of ran it for him. Like, I think that was all part of their property, but there's something about the culture that they give the property, they will it to the oldest son in the family. I believe that's how it went down. Anyways, so this guy got the farmhouse, and his parents had this little cottage that was attached. It was beautiful. There was a garden in the back. They had like a little arboretum, like, with vineyards. I mean, it was all the things that you would expect, right? Chickens. And so you go, and his mother came out. He was not there, and she did not speak a lick of English. And I spoke about that much Italian, that much. I can say prego, and I can say gelato, due, like due scupa, gelato, prego, that kind of, that's it. You heard it all right there. Anyways, she didn't speak any, but I got out of her that she said the garden was ours. We could go and eat whatever we wanted out of the garden, and we could take eggs from the chickens. They were kind of mean. They were a little I'm not a farm girl, so I'm like, can I please have one of your eggs, chicken? Like, you have to ask. And the chicken was like, no. And I told I said, we're having fruit for breakfast. He's like, go get an egg. I'm like, no. Chicken is like, not going to let me have it. He's like, you get in there. You tell it who's boss. I was very nervous. Anyways, but I was so excited. I had this Italian nonna, right? Like grandmother, who was running the house. I'm thinking, I'm going to have the best Italian food ever. Would you believe? She's vegetarian. I've never met an Italian vegetarian nonna, but she didn't. I wanted some lasagna with some meat sauce and some cheese and the whole thing. No. I was like, this is just not fair. Not fair at all. But it was still delicious. It was wonderful. And we went to a zuppa festival right around the corner from where we were staying. There was this, like, a very tiny little town festival, like a fete, they would call it, right? Not like a big thing. Like, nobody from the outside world comes to these things. Yeah, a vegetarian nonna, like, that's not a thing in Italy, but apparently it was. So we went to this little zuppa festival, and everybody's looking at us because they're like, it was kind of obvious we didn't belong. We weren't from there, but we wanted some food and everything else was too far away. We walked in, we bought our tickets, we got our wine, we got our zuppa, soup, right? We sat down, these big long tables with all these people, and nobody knew us. And they're like, who are you? But before the night was done, we were singing and dancing and throwing towels and having a big old time. But we were riding it was like a petty bike, like, and it has like a canopy over the top, and it's like two people, right? And we're riding along, and I had just bought this really pretty little Italian purse I think I got it in Florence. And so I had it, like on my shoulder, whatever. And I think I put it up on the dash, and we're riding in Lucca, there's this wall that goes all the way around the whole entire village, town, if you will. So you can ride these petty bikes all around the wall. Yeah. And so we're coming down, and you kind of come down into the village, and there's little restaurants, and there's, people sitting having coffees and teas and whatever else inside. So we're coming down the wall, coming off of the wall, and we hit a bump or a pothole, whatever it was. My beautiful new little Italian purse wallet goes fwing, and it flies out of the cart, lands on the ground, and the Brit who was driving goes ka-dunk, and runs right over it. I'm like, oh. It was so sad, and I'm crying, but I'm laughing at the same time. And it was like a puddle that it just poof. And so he pulls over, and people were cracking up, and I go to get my beautiful little Italian that's all dripping and has big tire tracks on it, and not so pretty anymore. So that was my little Italian purse story. Anyways, but I love Italy. I've been to Austria, Michelina, on our terrible trip of 10 countries in 3 weeks. We went to Austria. And that's the thing. It's like, I can't even say that I've been there because I don't remember anything about it. But it's a beautiful country. I know it is because I've seen pictures, and I want to go back there. Unfortunately, this trip we're only going to Switzerland, but I know we're very, very close to Austria. I think, aren't you neighboring? You neighbor to Switzerland, I believe. Oh my gosh, you guys. Well, look at that. We've been on for an hour, and it hasn't even felt like an hour. But I'm going to round it out. I'm going to finish up. I'm going to be here next Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please be here. and hang out with me. Bring your crafts, tell your friends. I hope that you have clear skies and there's no snow, but no, what does it say with the postman? No sleet, no snow, no rain will keep him from. So no sleet, no snow, no rain will keep me from doing a live next week. And hopefully I'll be able to figure all this garbage out. What was I going to say? Really quick, make sure you comment if you want this lemon wood, this fun little giveaway that I've got. Is this the right one? Yes. This one, the yarn ball winder. I'm going to be doing a giveaway. I'm going to put it in another video as well, but comment below here and then look for the other video where I'm talking about this and comment where you would travel to or what you would do with this guy. And then I'm going to draw the winner today, but you have time. If you want to check out this watch, the fanny fit, it was a short video that I did. Check that over there and put a comment in below if you want to get entered to win one of these guys. Has a brown watch strap. I liked the red. Got a brown one for you. I think that's it. That's all I got going on today. And I got some more videos coming up this week. So thank you all so much for hanging with me. I've loved it. I wish you all warmth and comfort and camaraderie. And yeah, like, thanks for hanging out with me. I love this. This is a lot more fun than, sitting doing a video by myself because I get to actually interact with you. All right. Thanks so much for watching. This is Kimberly with Knit for Brains. And as always, I'll see you soon. I'll see you next week.